And this first question came into our inbox about a new record that was skipping. Hello everyone, Mark here at Funky Moose Records with the first video in a series of videos where I'm going to be answering questions about vinyl, the vinyl community, distribution of records, the production of records, etc. The customer stated that, it's a new record, I put it on my turntable, I start playing it, the first few spins are great, and then in the middle somewhere it starts skipping. Why is that? And is my record defective? So the answer to that question is a bit of a hard one to answer because it's not a clear cut, like, okay, yes, the record is defective. 9 times out of 10, when we ask what kind of turntable are you playing it on, 9 times out of 10, it's either a lower end budget model like a Victrola or a Crossley or some unknown brand. And the reason is that these players are made in a Chinese factory with cheap components, mostly plastic, and they are just not calibrated correctly. And that's not to say that it's all on the turntable, because there's also a part in the mastering process for records that make some records more prone to skipping than others. Examples are, I want to say, the Black Album by Metallica or the AC/DC Back in Black. It's the way records are mastered that could potentially make them more prone to skipping. So when a record is mastered, the sound engineer wants to make it as dynamic as possible and make it, they want to make it sound as good as possible. Sometimes that's described as a hot cut. And this means that the sound engineer is pushing the threshold on what's possible and what a record can handle. It also depends on how much music is going on one side. Sometimes, it needs to be compressed and the grooves are very close to each other. And if it's a hot cut, it might be that the needle is kind of jumping a little bit, and then when there's more music compressed onto one side, the walls of the grooves are so thin that it can jump over that wall, and that's what results in skipping. So how to fix that? Well, the short answer is upgrade your turntable, but I get it. You just got your turntable 2 weeks ago. Why would I upgrade already? I get it. It's possible that the record has some debris or there is a physical defect in it. So what you should do first is check for these physical defects. It's possible that it's warped. Put it on a turntable, look at it from the needle's perspective, and if it does this, that means it's warped, and yeah, it's probably skipping. There can also be a scratch on it. You would be able to physically see it, unless it's a clear record and it's harder to see, but you still should be able to find something. Check for debris, because in recent years, record pressing plants are pushing out so many records that quality control is not always the best. So it's very possible that some of the plastic, some of the PVC that gets cut off the record actually makes it into the record sleeve. Nobody wants that, but it's possible, and that might actually cause damage to the record itself. So keep that in mind and check that. Then use a carbon fiber brush. If you don't have one, you can use a microfiber cloth, lint-free, to wipe the record and make sure that it's free of dust and debris. If that doesn't work, try to find a friend with another turntable, maybe a higher end turntable, play the record there. If it still skips, chances are it is the record that's defective, and then you can just return it to us, we'll replace it, no problem. But other than that, check your turntable. In way back in the 70s, people didn't care too much about records and how long they lasted, so they put a penny on the cartridge to add weight to it. I'm not suggesting you do that because it will damage your records, but if you're really desperate, you could try that. And yeah, don't let this deter you from collecting records. Just keep collecting them. keep playing them. If they skip, set them aside, and then once you upgrade your turntable, because you will eventually, probably, hopefully, then you can play that record on your turntable, on your new turntable. So, I always hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if your new record skips, it's likely your new turntable. So with that, I thank you for your attention. And I would like to do more of these. So if you have any questions, drop the comments below and I will answer them in an upcoming video. Thanks for watching.